How's it going, everyone? It's Jared, and welcome back to another bass video. This is an excerpt from what was a 45-minute practice session, condensed down to about 10 to 15 minutes, so I hope you enjoy it. And the very first thing we need to do is get our bass in tune. Okay, so today I'm going to be working on Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles. And the very first thing that I do with any piece of music is I'm looking through and I'm asking myself questions like, what key is it in? What's the timing? Is it in 4/4? Does it change timing? Does it change key? What's the range? What's my highest note? What's my lowest note? And what types of rhythms do I often have? And that tells me which bits I really need to work on first. So I'm not just working on the really easy bits and just wasting time. So very often we need to just hone in and work on the bits that are really tricky first, and then that often saves us time later on. An important thing to keep in mind for sight reading is you want to try to keep your left hand in the same position and not have to shift around too much. Your eyes are going to be on the sheet music most of the time, so if you can avoid looking at your hands as much as possible, that's obviously going to help you with your sight reading. So I'll just let this section play out. Alright, so now that I've done all that, I'm just going to have a play with the song and see how I do with my sight reading. One thing that I'm trying to do when I'm playing is reading ahead, seeing what comes up in the music in the next 1 or 2 bars, so that when those bars do come round, I'm ready for them. This takes a lot of practice, but as you do more and more reading, it does get easier. I'm not the best reader, but I feel that my reading certainly has come a long way in the last few years by trying to read ahead as much as possible. For this part of the song where the time signature is changing every bar, from 3/8 to 11/8 to 6/4 back to 3/8 and those types of things, I'm not actually counting too hard. I'm counting a little bit, but I'm mostly just trying to listen to see where does my bass line line up with other parts of the music. So for this part of the song, my bass line's matching up with mostly the vocals, but also a little bit of the guitar part, so that sort of helps me to keep in time there. Alright, I've got to look at which bar did I stuff up? There's a couple of them. There's one at the end. What bar was it? That one? So the next thing that I'm going to do is just work on parts that I'm constantly getting wrong. I think it's important that you take your time and go back and just work on bits that you often get wrong. I find that a lot of bass players that I teach, they like to just run the song a bunch of times and not hone in on bits that they're having issues with. So I think that's an important thing to do. It's pretty much there actually, just a couple little bits. Run that bit. Fast forwarding to the end of the practice session, I was able to learn just about all of the bass parts. I'm going to keep on working on it of course, but this was the final result for today's session. Let me know if you like this type of video and I'll keep on making more of them. Thanks a lot and I'll see you next time. Yay, that's it.